If you would like to see more content from my channel, be sure to subscribe and click that bell icon to be notified of future videos. Welcome back to the channel. So as you could tell from the video intro, I have two HO scale CSX Athearn Genesis 2.0 AC4400s with factory equipped Tsunami 2 sound. And these things are beautiful. So we have a lot to cover here. I want to get started. I will show you a quick unboxing and discuss some of the features while I'm doing that of this new release of the AC4400 from Athearn Genesis. And I want to give a big shout out to Athearn and thank them for sending me these models for this review purpose. The HO scale Athearn Genesis AC4400 with brand new Genesis 2.0 tooling. This initial release of the AC4400 does come in 6 different road names with road name and road number specific details on all of them. Here we have the CIT group with 3 different road numbers. Chicago and Northwestern with 3 different road numbers. CSX in 3 different road numbers. Kansas City Southern in 3 different road numbers. Southern Pacific, again with 3 different road numbers. And Union Pacific in 2 different road numbers, and this is a primed for grime feature. These locomotives either come straight DC, which is DC, non-sound, non-DCC, but can easily be equipped and converted to DCC with a 21-pin decoder of your choice. Or they come sound equipped with DCC Soundtraxx Tsunami 2 on board, which includes a dual sugar cube speaker. Here is a look at the inside of a factory Tsunami 2 equipped model. You see the full board style Tsunami 2 decoder along with the sugar cube speaker. Here's what Athearn likes to call their pogo pin connector. This allows the shell to be removed completely from the frame without the LED wires attached to the decoder board, which is really nice. I really like this feature. There's the typical Genesis driveline and motor. This is some of the LED lighting. There you can see the other side of where the pogo pins contact the shell for the rest of the LED lighting, which is contained all up inside the shell. Here's some of the underbody detail and piping. And of course, this does come with see-through grills. Here is an easy way to see those. As I said, this is brand new Genesis 2.0 tooling. The DCC ready models feature a 21-pin connector for the decoder of your choice. Again, like I said, if you get the sound equipped ones, that is a full Soundtraxx Tsunami 2 decoder. They come with all LED lighting, illuminated number boards, illuminated ground lights, illuminated front and rear walkway lights, illuminated marker lights where applicable, etched see-through walkway steps, animated rolling bearing caps, coupler cut levers, flexible rubber MU hoses, flexible rubber train line hose, see-through cab windows, full cab interior, walkway tread, windshield wipers, lift rings, wire grab irons, detailed fuel tank, sander lines, brass horns correct to the prototype, McHenry scale knuckle couplers, KD compatible, the Genesis driveline, all-wheel drive and all-wheel pickup. This has a heavy die-cast frame weighing in at 21.25 ounces. As a comparison, their recent Dash 9 release weighed in at 22 ounces, and their 2020 release of the Gevo weighed in at exactly 21 ounces, maybe just a hair over 21 ounces. But that pulled 37 random cars plus 5 auto racks on my layout. So this thing should be a pretty good puller. The MSRP of these models are $264.99 without sound and $364.99 with Tsunami 2 sound. Now the Prime for Grime models are $10 more. Now don't let the MSRP scare you, they are available for much less than that at most hobby shops and online retailers. Be sure to check out our channel sponsor, Midwest Model Railroad. That's midwestmodelrr.com. They do have a store in Independence, Missouri, or you can shop online where their orders ship out within 1 business day. And you will find these models there much cheaper than the MSRP. Alright, here they are out of the pack and they look awesome. I would like to say that both of these arrived with 0 missing or broken parts, so that's a plus right off the bat. I have road number 17 and road number 1, Spirit of West Virginia. I'm going to go over some of the details, kind of just an overview, and then I want to show you the differences in the details between each locomotive, because this run has road number and road name specific details, and there are a bunch of different details between the two of these, so I'd like to show those off. Also, these locomotives come with spare parts. Here we have spare lift rings, and this one has some spare ice skate antennas and bearing caps, because these locomotives do feature rolling bearing caps. So that's pretty cool of Athearn to include some spares. I'm going to try to get through this video without a lot of distracted background road noise from the street that goes by my house. Unfortunately, I swear everyone has a loud car, and my camera does pick that up. But anyways, let's check out the details on these locomotives. I'll start here at the front. We have the separately applied wipers, grab irons, of course. There you see your ice skate antenna up top. We do have nose grab irons, sandfill hatches. There's your grab irons down the front. Ditch lights, coupler cut lever, rubber MU hoses and train line hose, McHenry scale knuckle coupler. You can swap that out for a KD if you want to. And of course the plow. This does have low number boards, and they do light up because this is a Genesis 2.0. Here you can see the simulated walkway tread and etched see-through steps. This does have a full cab interior and even has the forward-facing camera, if you can see that behind the window. Pretty cool. There you have the separately applied sunshade, and it does look like it has tinted windows. That's a pretty cool feature. And I will say, I have not found any problems with the paint. There's no chipping, no missing paint on the railings or anything. Very well done. There is a quick shot of the front truck detail. Here's a quick shot of the rear truck detail with the rotating bearing cap. We even have a real brake chain. And you can see some of the underbody piping and detail from this shot also. Here we have some more separately applied grab irons and lift rings. And like I said, none of these were broken off. They all arrived in great condition, which I absolutely love. I mean, the more detail parts you add on a locomotive, the more chance that there is for something to fall off or get broken in transit. If some of the lift rings do get broke off in transit, or you accidentally break one off, it's nice that Athearn has included those extras. Here we have a quick glimpse of the long hood on this and the details. The molded on detail is really nice as far as the doors. You can see the brake wheel, and these are see-through grills. Again, lots of great detail in that area. And we have legible warning labels. Here is a close-up of the radiator grill area. Looks awesome. Here we take a quick look at the back. You have your rear light more grab irons. There are no ditch lights on the back of the CSX models per the prototype. Again, coupler cut lever, MU hoses, simulated knuckle couplers, and again there's your McHenry coupler, which you can swap out for KDs if you like. Alright, to look at the other side, I'm just going to jump over to the other locomotive, number 1, Spirit of West Virginia. Here we have the truck detail again, and these models both come with a simulated tow chain, just like the prototype. Here's a quick shot of the air reservoirs and the fuel tank detail. There's another look at some of the detail that's on this. Move up to the cab area on this one. You see number 1, Spirit of West Virginia. And it even has the builder plate. Now that we did kind of a quick overview of the details of these locomotives, I'd like to show you the specific details that are different between the two, and they are road number specific details. Number 17, if you notice, has high adhesion trucks, the GE high adhesion trucks with the struts on the outside. And then number 1 here actually has the steerable trucks. Another difference between the two is the location of the ditch lights. Number 1 has pilot mounted ditch lights, and number 17 has deck mounted ditch lights. Also notice the housing for the headlight is different on both of them. This one is painted silver, and this one is painted yellow. Even the warning label placement is different between the two of these all the way around the locomotive. Another difference between the two is the roof detail on top of the long hood. You see the difference. And the horns are different per the prototype. CSX1 has the Holden K5H horn, and CSX number 17 has the K5 LAR24 horn. One of the biggest noticeable differences between the two are the nose-mounted grab irons. You see CSX number 1 has a unique angled grab iron across the nose, and they are all painted yellow. And these are the more, 17 has more of the traditional type nose grab irons, and they are painted blue, the body color. And even the CSX logo and placement is different between the two, just like the real ones. If you are looking for prototypical operations on your layout, I would like to discuss the era for these locomotives. Number 17 would be from 1995 to at least 2022 in this YN2 paint scheme. I'm not sure what might have happened after 2022. I don't have a lot of reference on that. And like I said, I'm not a CSX modeler completely, so I'm sure a lot of you guys know more about number 17. But I do know it wore this paint scheme from 1995 to at least 2022. Number 1, the Spirit of West Virginia. Now it wore the YN2 paint scheme from 1995 to 2017. From then it got painted into the YN3 boxcar paint scheme, and then eventually it's been renumbered completely. Number 1 does not exist anymore as far as I understand. Now, you heard me say that CSX number 1, Spirit of West Virginia, was the era of 1995 to 2017. That is correct for the paint scheme. However, Athearn has decided to do a little special modeling feature on this, which is really cool. Now, when you first look at this, if you don't know the history of this locomotive, you first look at the number boards, you would think, wow, Athearn screwed up. Look at the font. It's different between the two. They actually modeled the representation of this locomotive that was from 2003 to 2006. Somewhere in 2003, it went from having both number boards look like that font to them replacing one of them with this. Now, I can only assume this one got damaged, so they replaced it with this one, which was a different font for the number. Now it wore this look from 2003 to 2006. After 2006, they both wore this font. So it's pretty interesting. That's a pretty cool feature that Athearn did. However, if you are looking for 100% prototypical operations on your layout, this locomotive with this look is actually only would be used in years 2003 to 2006. So keep that in mind, but I think that's a really awesome feature. And to be honest with you, I didn't know that history till I looked it up, because I saw this locomotive and I thought, uh-oh, there's a mistake here. Well, actually, it's not a mistake. It's a very cool modeling feature of the real one. Okay, let's go on to the lighting feature of this video. I want to tell you right now, both these locomotives have blown me away with their lighting. It's absolutely perfect. And I mean, it's even consistent across every single bulb or every single light on the front of the locomotive and the rear of the locomotive. So they all match up really well. I have no complaints whatsoever about the lighting on these things. In fact, it really makes me excited. It does have walkway lighting, front and rear. See it right there? That is lights up automatically when power is applied to these locomotives. I do have these muted right now, so you can hear me talk, but they are on a live track. So that is automatic. You cannot turn those on and off with any functions on your controller. It does have lit number boards because this is a Genesis 2.0 model. There you go. I'm going to turn those on first because the other lights, well, I'm telling you, they're beautiful and bright. So I wanted to show you the lit number boards. I do have some of the lighting killed in this room, so you can see this a lot better. But I like the brightness of these number boards right out of the box. This is just how they came. And then we have the headlight. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at those ditch lights. Oh, I'm telling you, this is absolutely perfect lighting. Beautiful. And although it's muted, if you do hit the horn button, you will see they do alternate. If it wasn't muted, you would hear the horn blowing also. But very cool, very cool. Perfect lighting, Athearn. I love it. Let's jump over to the other one quick, and I'll show you. There's the number boards, headlight, ditch lights. And again, I have more of a direct shot of number 17 than I do number 1. That's why it might look a little bit brighter on this one. But let me tell you, these things, they're both identical in their lighting. I love it, love it. And again, if you press the horn, they do alternate just like the real ones. And there's a quick look at the rear lights and the walkway lighting. Nicely done, very visible. Alright, both these models also come with operating ground lights. I'm going to use a mirror. You see the ground light LED lighting up there underneath? That is automatic too. As long as track power is on, they light up. Now these models both have the operating ground lights, but they are only on the conductor side. Now I know what you're thinking. I thought the same thing. That sounds a little strange. Usually if they're only on one side of a locomotive, they would be on the engineer's side. However, I have not been able to find any references or pictures or videos on my research that suggest that this is wrong. I have seen it on the conductor side, but I have not seen it on the engineer side for locomotives like these, the AC4400s, the YN2 paint scheme, and these particular locomotives. I have seen ground lighting on the conductor side, but I have not seen it anywhere on the engineer side. So it's up to you to determine if you feel that's prototypical or not, but I think I would do some research first before you jump to conclusions. I know this is probably a hot topic, But until I see evidence that it's actually on the engineer side, then I have to say that this is the correct way of doing this for the prototype. You can feel free to post any picture links or video links in my comment section if you have any evidence that this is on the engineer side also. And please make sure it references these particular locomotives, not a later version or whatever. I mean, we're talking about these models here, number 1 and number 17. Alright, now that we have the details and the lighting covered, let's move on to some more fun stuff. Now, this is factory equipped with Tsunami 2 sound. Now, I did not have to change any of the volume settings when I got these out of the box, which is really cool because I know the last couple I felt were a little bit too loud right out of the box, especially from review purposes. It tends to come across louder in the video than it is in person, so it's nice that it's toned down a little bit. So I think it's actually perfect. So let's apply track power and we'll go over some sounds, and we'll move this up the test track a little bit so you can hear some of it. I did notice these locomotives do have a random cab chatter with the Tsunami 2 decoder. Man, that thing moves great at speed step 1. Nice and smooth, no jerkiness. I love that, love that. This does have the digital dynamic exhaust feature from Tsunami 2. The instructions show you how to set that up. I did not set that up on this yet. That is something you can do if you like. Man, I love the sound of a GE. Here are the alternating ditch lights once again. Let's go ahead and do a quick quiet run by. Again, this thing moves nice and smooth, especially at speed step 1, which is awesome. As you can tell, it was pretty nice going in reverse. I do hear a little bit of like a gear noise on slow speeds there coming forward. That may disappear with a break-in period and some run time. I've mentioned before, I don't feel the Genesis driveline is the quietest driveline out there, but it is definitely a solid driveline. I've never had any issues with it as far as operating. And a lot of times things work themselves out anyways as far as noise. I mean, you're looking at fresh gears there. So a proper break-in, I would assume, will clear that up. But definitely a smooth runner, and low speed operation's awesome. Now, one other cool thing about these locomotives. If you buy more than one and you would like to consist them together, these things ran identical out of the box. I had to do no speed matching whatsoever. All I had to do was enter them in the consist in my DCC controller or system. But I would imagine if you buy this to straight DC versions with no sound, they should operate, I mean, exactly the same speed. And I'm going to demonstrate that right here. I have these set up in a consist. And I have a gap left there so you can see, but let's move these. There's speed step 2. But you notice, I mean, that gap stays the same. These things run great together. Like I said, I didn't have to do any speed matching. I apologize for some of the movement of the camera. But check that out. These things run identical. That gap still hasn't changed. I don't know. I don't think you can get much more perfect than that. Beautiful. Alright, I'm going to run these locomotives for a little bit here to end this video. But before that, I want to give my final thoughts. I think Athearn did an amazing job on these things. The minute I took one out of the pack, I knew it was going to be a good puller. I mentioned that the weight and everything earlier in the video. I mean, you could tell the minute you pulled this out of the box that it was heavy. So I love that. The detail is absolutely amazing on these, especially the road name, road number, specific details throughout all of them in this release. There are other review videos and such out there with other road names other than CSX, so you can check those out. But the detail is great. The lighting, I'm blown away with the lighting. I love it when I get one and it's perfect right out of the box, let alone both of them. So that tells me there's a level of consistency with these locomotives. And speaking of consistency, just the speed alone. I mean, these things run identical right out of the box. So that makes consisting a breeze. So, I mean, I think this is a win. This is a knockout of the park for Athearn. I think they did a phenomenal job with this overall. Nice, smooth running. Speed step 1, there's no herky or jerkiness. It's a nice, smooth run. And that's another thing that's important to me. So I'll tell you what, I absolutely love these locomotives. I'm not just saying that, I mean it. Alright guys, that's all I have for this video. I will do some running of these to end it. So feel free to stick around and check these things in action. And with that being said, I'll see you next time.